So hello, well today I'd like to take a look at this SAAB 9000 manual, owner's manual. That's Jimmy. You're up. Yeah, good boy. Don't take a whittle, mate. Not yet, not now anyway. Yeah, this was a car that was made in 1986 by the then SAAB company, who were owned by Scania at this point in time. It was a wonderful car, I can tell you, because I know that because I owned it, but not in 1986. I owned mine in 2000. Yes, 2000. So it was a very old car by then, really old car. In actual fact, it was what you might call a banger, but wow, was it a good banger. Really safe, and for me it was my favourite of all time cars that I've ever owned, without a doubt. Never had a car better than this one, ever. I mean, it had so many electronic goodies in it, you know, like these sorts of things that you could see if the doors were open, if the oil needed, light bulbs had popped out, it would tell you all this sort of stuff. That was much the dashboard. It had all sorts of information about economy and what have you. Yeah, I mean, I could whiz through this really, because it's not going to be of that much interest to people that didn't own the car, I suppose, but that was pretty much the interior. Mine was a silver coloured exterior bodywork, and it had like a plum red. I know, ugh, wow, you know, plum. But it was all good back in the day, I guess, and it was like a velour. And the seats were just amazing, because SAAB used to make aircraft, and so what they did know about was comfort for long, you know, long journeys. And the seats in the SAAB that I had, everyone said, whoa, you know, everyone just fell asleep. I'd be talking for like 10 minutes and they were all snoozing in the back, you know. I think, well, it must be the seats, you know. It's not me. You know, it's not me. It's the seats. But also it had a massive kind of capacity for load bearing. It had a hatchback, and you could fold these rear seats back down. It would turn it into a little van, basically. All sorts of all sorts of availability to carry and transport. That was pretty much the front end of it. Lovely car, really lovely. SAAB 9000. You just skip through a bit, because yeah, I can understand. It's not going to be. There's the engine. Look, that was the engine. Well, obviously mine was inside the car, fitted to it. I didn't have it in a backpack or anything. But mine was a 2 litre. I didn't have the turbo. I had the 2 litre version. But it was enough. More than enough to do what you wanted to do without being a nutter. And effectively, it was a very, very quick vehicle. And that's what it sort of looks like, really. Very elegant lines, even sort of, you know, being a sort of in its day 15 years old when I had mine. My car registration was C801 KUS. The only thing I do remember it did a lot was chew through light bulbs for some reason. Possibly because I had a problem in there in the fuse box, which a friend of mine always said, you've got a problem in the fuse box, but the local mechanic said, yeah, well, change the fuse box, it costs more than the car is worth, so just keep changing the light bulbs. Yeah, that's pretty much my car there, with a plum interior, which was awesome, except that's the left-hand drive version. But so I also have the kind of what's it called, the catalogue, the brochure, that came with the car. Actually, I kept all these things, sort of fold out, sort of fold out information on the vehicle. And I actually had these wheels on mine. There was a SAAB 9000 and a 9000 turbo. 16 meaning 16 valve, obviously. Well, they were. I actually got some flare on there. I'm sorry about that, but that pretty much shows you the interior. Beautiful. When it started, I can remember it sort of, you know, it had a really lovely starter motor sound. I know that sounds crazy, but for me, everything about it was luxury. When you slammed the doors, instead of like a tinny clunk, it was like a, you know, it was like there was luxury there. SAAB sadly went through a period of liquidation, I believe now, and they don't exist anymore under the guise of SAAB. A company did buy them out, and they're currently making electric cars, but I can't remember the name of the firm. Sorry, this is a fold out. That's why I'm kind of struggling to open it, because it's a gatefold. Look at that. There you go. Big on. That's what it's like. Big on, as it were. Beautiful car. I can't, you know, imagine anything less than safety, really, would be just the way I describe this car. It was engineered for absolute safety, and these are all the crumple zones, safety body. It was body armoured back in the day, you know. Nowadays every car has this sort of safety. I suppose to it the 5 stars, but in its day, this one was well ahead of its time, massively ahead of its time. An awesome vehicle, to say the least. Mine didn't have air conditioning, but everything else was electric, which is weird in the day, you know. For its time, it was quite weird to have all electrical bits and bobs. Sorry about the flare, as I say, this is quite a glossy magazine. So if I stop that bit there and show you this supplement, which is the colours from 1986, which was the era of mine. Mine was a 1986 car, and here you can see all the different interiors. Hopefully it's all in focus. I hope it's in focus, isn't it? And there's the colours that would go with that interior. So Sierra leather, you could choose those colours. So you had quite a good range. It wasn't the best of ranges of colours, I suppose. And there, more colours, more colour schemes with that particular choice of interior. It's probably best to keep this one like this, actually. So that was the SAAB Turbo 9000, and that's the colour that I had, rose quartz metallic, which was a very handsome colour. In actual fact, when it was in the sun, it was a very, very pretty colour. Except mine wasn't the turbo, as I say. What mine was the Bokra red luxury Vela interior. That's the interior that I had in my car. And it was absolutely gorgeous. I know today everyone's going to go, "Whoa, Plum, come on." But it was 80s, don't forget. And I had the rose quartz metallic colour on the exterior, and I tell you what, it was lovely. Many a time I used to drive from where I used to live near Winchester in Hampshire back to where I was sort of from, which was sort of Middlesex northward, to visit friends, and I'd take friends with me, and they'd always be asleep when we arrived, because the car was just so quiet, comfortable. Are we there? You know, yes, we are. We've arrived, and it was about an hour's journey, hour and a half with traffic, and I hadn't said a word, so it can't have been me boring them to death. But yeah. So there you go. And there's the other interiors, a little bit kind of wow, Persian blue luxury Vela, obviously very 86 type of interior there. And there's your colours that you could have chosen. Yeah, for me, massive, massive, massive fun. Love that car. There you go. I didn't buy mine from this garage. These are just brochures that I've sent off for because I loved the car so much. I just wanted to keep a memory of it. Anyway, I hope you found this of some interest. Scratching in the back of my head. Thanks ever so much for watching as always, and all the very best wishes. There you go. Jimmy's fallen asleep. Look. Oh, he's awake now. We've arrived, mate. You can get out of the car. Cheers.